Pheonix Resurrection, Part 2. Hey, yo, Cajun, run that intro. The Red Leo back again with another video, man. Go ahead on and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, man. If you're new to my channel, go ahead on and hit the like button, man. It really helps the channel out. And last but not least, go ahead on and leave the comment. I always hit the people back up in the comment section. You can believe that. Part 2 of this Pheonix Resurrection graphic novel that I have, man. The story's starting to heat up right now. If you've seen the last video, you know it left off on a cliffhanger. We start this issue off in space, and there's an astronaut here, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. After a while here, they're doing some work on the space station, and you can see the Pheonix right here seems to start manifesting itself here. We find Jean Grey here living life as usual, or as it seems here. Seems like she's having a hard time managing everything. She's running late for work. You know, seems like she lives in a pretty good neighborhood and all that, even talking to one of her neighbors here. At the same time, it seems like the X-Men are still trying to wrap their head around what happened here in the last issue. They're trying to figure out what's going on. Is it Jean Grey or is the Pheonix Force? These things only happen whenever the Pheonix Force appears. All these strange phenomena that they're having. They're having sightings of mutants, and they keep running up on them trying to figure it out, and it seems like they're just aberrations. Cerebro's not really giving them any proper readings or anything, because the phenomena that are happening aren't necessarily mutant related, and to make matters worse, they don't really have a telepath with them as it seems. Psylocke is recovering from some injuries from the last issue. Monette, whoever that is, and Legion, they're missing. No one seems to know where they are. Hope, Quentin, which is Kid Omega, and the Cuckoo, I never seem to get that right. They seem to be missing as well. And the X-Men seem to believe all this stuff is pointing back at the Pheonix. And they're not completely out of a psychic or telepath because they do have Cable. As you can see, Cable's here. My hand's in the way. Yes. You have Cable there. Now we're going to kind of do the back and forth thing that we did from the last issue. So just bear with me. We have Jean Grey in the diner that she works at, and here, this guy right here, this is Magneto. I'll just go ahead on and break that right now. So he's asking her, you know, they're talking, and she's saying that she's pretty much telling him that she had a rough night, and he says her name, and she's wondering how he knows her name, and he's like, it's on the name tag. He introduces himself as Eric and says he's a friend of her old teacher. Any guesses who that is? And you can even see him here stirring up his coffee, and yeah, you can see him. He's bending his spoon right now, and that's evidence of his magnetism. Jumping back to the X-Men, we have Cable here getting ready to use Cerebro. We have Iceman here kind of patronizing him a little bit, wanting to know if he knows what he's doing, and of course he does. He goes on and explains how it feels to use Cerebro. Beast tries to add some input, but not helping the situation out. Everything seems to go awry pretty quick. You see Cable right there using Cerebro, and it explodes on him. Why does this always seem to happen with Cerebro? You know what I'm saying? If it ain't Professor X, it seems like anybody else who used this this thing just goes on attack on. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I know I have a different shirt on. Something went wrong in the editing, so I'm having to redo the second part of this video. Anyway, Cable's getting electrocuted by Cerebro, really messing him up. So anyway, we're moving back to Jean Grey. She's explaining to her boss, you know, what's going on, about the guy in the diner a little bit. and her boss seems to press her a little bit on her situation. Jean Grey has been off, it seems. You know, she hasn't had any sleep all this week. She's been having nightmares. She's been seeing things, aberrations, kind of like the Matrix. And she's also lost her appetite through the midst of all this. And her boss seems to kind of press her a little bit, you know, really trying to figure out what's going on. And that's what you have right here. Now, as Jean Grey goes to bring this order back out to Magneto, she realizes that he's gone. You know, after her boss confides her a little bit, and she brings the order out, and you can see, yeah, whew, Magneto's gone. So, we move to the X-Men. I can get it in, right? And they're getting ready to go on their mission. They're about to split up into teams, as they do always. And they're split up into their teams. They're in Jamaica Bay. They're in Genosha, they're in the sewers in Manhattan, and they're in the Savage Lands. And then you have one team that seem to run up on Magneto. And as this goes on, man, you have Iceman here. They're wondering whether or not Magneto's on their side or not. Now, if you don't know, Magneto has jumped around from being a bad guy to a good guy and a bad guy and a good guy several times throughout, you know, the X-Men, and they're not really sure what's going on right here because he seems to go on the attack on them, as you can see. Now, in the middle of this battle, man, Magneto seems to be talking out of his head a bit. You know, he's asking for a refill and for a fresh cup of coffee, which would signify that he's still in the diner. You know, he's kind of, I'm just going to go ahead on and say, his mind is still in a diner with Jean Grey, but his physical body is fighting the X-Men here. And they can't figure out what's going on at all with this guy. But anyway, Magneto seems to get the upper hand on him. You know, he has X-23 / all new Wolverine. He has her in his magnetic grip. But yeah, anyway, she shanks him in his head, and then poof, he's gone. But then you see him back here. But then you see him back at the diner as Jean Grey has already put his order up. And then she's like, you know, hey, I thought you left. He's like, yeah, I thought I'd seen some people outside that I knew. Turns out I didn't. And then his nose started bleeding. And he's like, oh yeah, that's an old war injury. And she was like, you were in the war? And he was like, I was the war. And I think this is pointing back to his, once again, his long-going battle with the X-Men over the years. And as we have this happening, he again proceeds to ask Jean Grey, is she doing alright? And she says, yeah, she thinks so. While in the background, you see, looks like chaos is breaking. As you can see, the Pheonix Force starting to manifest itself in the background. This is going further to prove that this was all an illusion this whole time that the Pheonix Force was making, trying to gain control of Jean Grey once again. Yeah, so as we can see, everything is starting to unfold here. You see the Pheonix Force resurrecting itself, and it's about ready to reattach itself to Jean Grey, or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, if you want to see that, man, just stick around. I'll bring these back out for you guys. If you made it to this part of the video, once again, in the comment section, go ahead on and leave me a squad. For the KRL squad, man, y'all the best. Don't forget to follow me on them social media sites, man. Twitter and Instagram. Hit me up on that Snapchat, man. Don't forget to be blessed, keep God in your life, and stay prayed up. Cajun Wine and Red Leo. I'm out, baby.